Every woman wants to feel loved, valued, and deeply appreciated in a relationship. But the truth is, lasting attraction isn't built on looks alone. It's created through the way you make someone feel when they're around you. The strongest connections happen when a woman brings peace, confidence, and genuine warmth into a man's life. When certain behaviors come naturally from the heart, they create a bond that goes far beyond physical attraction and leaves a lasting impact on his emotions. One of the deepest emotional needs in any relationship is the desire to feel respected. While love often gets most of the attention, respect is what gives love stability and strength. Many women spend a lot of time trying to understand what keeps a man emotionally connected, and one of the answers is simpler than most people realize. A man wants to feel that the woman he cares about sees his value, trusts his judgment, and appreciates who he is as a person. When he feels respected, he naturally becomes more open, more committed, and more willing to invest emotionally in the relationship. Respect does not mean putting someone on a pedestal or pretending they are perfect. It does not mean staying silent when something bothers you or accepting behavior that hurts you. Real respect is about treating each other with dignity, even during disagreements. It is the ability to communicate your feelings without attacking someone's character. It is choosing understanding over constant criticism and encouragement over humiliation. Many relationships begin with excitement and attraction, but over time, daily life introduces challenges. Bills, responsibilities, stress, family pressures, and personal struggles can create tension. During these moments, the way partners speak to each other becomes incredibly important. A woman who knows how to express disappointment without tearing a man down creates an environment where trust can grow. When every mistake is met with insults, sarcasm, or constant reminders of failures, emotional walls begin to form. Nobody feels safe opening their heart when they expect to be judged every time they fall short. Think about how powerful it feels when someone believes in you, especially during moments when you are struggling. Respect often shows up in those situations. It is the difference between saying, "You never do anything right," and saying, "I know you're capable of handling this, and I'm here to support you." Both statements address a problem, but one damages confidence while the other strengthens it. The words we choose can either build a person up or slowly chip away at their self-worth. Respect also means allowing someone to have their own identity. Many relationships become strained when one partner tries to control every decision, every friendship, every opinion, or every aspect of the other person's life. Healthy love leaves room for individuality. A strong connection is not created by ownership. It is created by mutual appreciation. When a man feels like he has to constantly defend himself, explain every choice, or seek permission for everything he does, the relationship can begin to feel restrictive rather than supportive. Trust plays a major role in respect. When you constantly assume the worst about someone's intentions, they eventually feel misunderstood. Of course, trust must be earned, and healthy boundaries are important. But when trust exists, it allows both people to feel secure. A man who feels trusted often becomes more responsible because he wants to protect the confidence that has been placed in him. Constant suspicion, on the other hand, can create distance and frustration. Another beautiful form of respect is listening. In today's world, many people listen only long enough to prepare their next response. Genuine listening is different. It means paying attention not just to the words, but also to the emotions behind them. When a man feels heard, he feels valued. Sometimes he may not need advice or solutions. Sometimes he simply wants to know that his thoughts matter. Giving someone your full attention can be one of the most powerful expressions of respect. Respect also means acknowledging effort. Often, people become so focused on what is missing that they forget to notice what is being done. Nobody is perfect, and every person has areas where they can improve. However, constantly focusing on flaws can make a partner feel like nothing they do is ever enough. Appreciation and respect often go hand in hand. When you recognize effort, even in small ways, it motivates growth far more effectively than constant criticism ever could. There is also a quiet strength in respecting differences. Two people can love each other deeply and still have different opinions, backgrounds, habits, and perspectives. Respect allows those differences to exist without turning every disagreement into a battle. It creates space for healthy conversations instead of power struggles. A relationship does not require two people to think exactly alike. It requires two people who are willing to value each other's viewpoints even when they disagree. Many women underestimate how much their words influence the emotional atmosphere of a relationship. Encouragement can inspire confidence, while repeated negativity can drain it. This does not mean being dishonest or avoiding difficult conversations. It simply means speaking with the intention to solve problems rather than create wounds. The most meaningful relationships are not those without conflict. They are the ones where conflict is handled with maturity, empathy, and respect. When a man feels respected, something changes in the way he shows up. He becomes more willing to communicate, more eager to spend time with you, and more motivated to contribute positively to the relationship. He feels accepted rather than constantly evaluated. He knows he can be imperfect without being made to feel worthless. That emotional security strengthens the bond between two people in ways that superficial attraction never can. At the heart of it all, respect is about seeing the humanity in someone. It is recognizing that they have dreams, fears, insecurities, and struggles just like you do. It is choosing kindness when it would be easier to be harsh. It is choosing understanding when assumptions would be simpler. Love may be what brings two people together, but respect is often what keeps them connected through life's challenges. When a woman learns to communicate with respect while still honoring her own needs and boundaries, she creates a relationship environment where both people can grow, thrive, and feel genuinely valued. One of the most attractive qualities a woman can bring into a relationship is a sense of peace. This is often misunderstood because people hear the word peace and assume it means avoiding difficult conversations, suppressing emotions, or pretending everything is fine when it isn't. Real peace has nothing to do with silence or ignoring problems. It is about creating an emotional environment where both people feel safe, understood, and supported, even when life becomes challenging. Every person carries some kind of pressure. There are responsibilities, deadlines, family concerns, family expectations, personal goals, and countless other stresses that come with everyday life. A relationship should not become another source of constant tension. Instead, it should feel like a place where two people can recharge, reconnect, and find comfort in each other's presence. When a woman consistently brings calmness, emotional stability, and understanding into a relationship, she becomes someone a man naturally wants to be around. This doesn't mean being perfect. Everyone has bad days. Everyone experiences frustration, disappointment, and emotional moments. The difference lies in how those emotions are expressed. Some people react to every inconvenience with anger, blame, or unnecessary drama. Others communicate their feelings honestly while maintaining respect and self-control. The second approach creates connection rather than conflict. Many relationships suffer not because of major problems, but because small issues are handled poorly. A forgotten text message turns into an argument. A minor misunderstanding becomes a full day of tension. A simple mistake leads to personal attacks instead of productive conversation. Over time, these repeated negative interactions create emotional exhaustion. People start feeling like they have to walk on eggshells around each other, constantly worrying about saying or doing the wrong thing. A peaceful woman understands that not every issue requires a battle. She knows how to separate a temporary problem from a permanent character flaw. Instead of immediately assuming the worst, She takes time to understand the situation. She asks questions before making accusations. She seeks clarity before creating conclusions. This approach reduces unnecessary conflict and strengthens trust. Emotional maturity plays a huge role in creating peace. Mature people recognize that emotions are important, but emotions should not control every reaction. Feeling hurt does not automatically justify hurting someone else. Feeling angry does not mean every thought needs to be spoken immediately. Sometimes the strongest response is taking a moment to process feelings before addressing a situation. This creates healthier conversations and prevents unnecessary damage. There is something incredibly comforting about being around someone who knows how to remain calm during stressful moments. Life is unpredictable. Challenges will come, plans will fail, mistakes will happen. During those times, a woman who brings stability rather than panic becomes a powerful source of strength. Her calm energy can help both people navigate difficulties more effectively. Instead of adding to the chaos, she helps create solutions. Peace also comes from understanding that relationships are partnerships, not competitions. Sometimes people become so focused on winning arguments that they forget the goal is understanding and connection. When every disagreement becomes a battle for control, both people lose. A healthy relationship is built on teamwork. It is not about proving who is right all the time. It is about finding ways to move forward together. Another important aspect of peace is emotional security. A man feels comfortable when he knows he can be vulnerable without being judged or mocked. Many people carry fears, insecurities, and doubts that they rarely share with others. When they finally open up, the response they receive matters greatly. A woman who listens with empathy rather than criticism creates a safe space for emotional intimacy to grow. This type of connection often becomes one of the strongest foundations of a lasting relationship. Peaceful energy also shows up in the way a woman handles everyday situations. She does not create problems where none exist. She does not constantly test someone's loyalty or demand reassurance every moment of the day. Instead, she builds trust through honest communication and consistency. Her confidence allows the relationship to breathe naturally rather than being overwhelmed by unnecessary pressure. It is important to remember that bringing peace into a relationship does not mean sacrificing your voice. Healthy peace is not passive. It does not require tolerating disrespect or ignoring important issues. In fact, truly peaceful people are often very clear about their boundaries. They know how to express concerns without creating destruction. They address problems directly while maintaining dignity and self-respect. People are naturally drawn toward environments where they feel emotionally comfortable. Think about the individuals in your life whose presence immediately makes you feel calmer. They may not solve every problem, but they make difficult situations feel more manageable. They listen without judgment. They offer encouragement when needed. They bring stability during uncertain moments. Those qualities leave a lasting impression because they fulfill a deep emotional need that many people are searching for. A relationship filled with constant tension can become draining over time, no matter how strong the initial attraction may have been. Physical attraction may capture attention, but emotional peace keeps people connected. When someone feels that being with you improves their emotional well-being rather than constantly challenging it, they naturally value your presence more deeply. At the end of the day, peace is not about perfection. It is about the energy you bring into someone's life. It is the ability to communicate with kindness, respond with maturity, and remain supportive during difficult moments. It is choosing understanding over unnecessary conflict and connection over constant criticism. When a woman consistently creates an atmosphere of comfort, trust, and emotional safety, she becomes more than just a partner. She becomes a source of strength, stability, and genuine happiness. And that kind of presence is something people rarely forget. One of the most attractive qualities a woman can have is a life that feels full, meaningful, and fulfilling on its own. Many people enter relationships believing that love should become the center of everything, but healthy relationships are rarely built that way. The strongest connections often happen when two complete individuals choose to share their lives rather than expecting the other person to become their entire world. A woman who has her own goals, interests, passions, and sense of purpose brings a different kind of energy into a relationship, an energy that is inspiring, refreshing, and deeply attractive. It is easy to understand why some people lose themselves in relationships. When emotions are strong, spending every possible moment together can feel exciting. The attention, affection, and companionship create a sense of closeness that many people crave. However, problems often begin when a relationship becomes the only source of happiness, confidence, or identity. When someone's entire emotional well-being depends on another person, pressure starts to build. Expectations become heavier, insecurities become stronger, and the relationship can begin to feel more like a responsibility than a partnership. A woman who has a beautiful life of her own understands that her happiness is not something another person is responsible for creating. She may deeply love and value her partner, but she also knows how to find joy in her own achievements, friendships, interests, and personal growth. This independence is not about pushing someone away or acting like she does not need anyone. It is about having a healthy sense of self that exists both inside and outside the relationship. Confidence naturally grows when a woman invests in herself. Whether it is pursuing a career, building a business, learning new skills, staying active, exploring creative hobbies, or working toward personal goals, these experiences create a sense of accomplishment that cannot be taken away. People are often attracted to confidence because it reflects self-respect. It shows that someone values their own life and believes they are worthy of growth and success. There's also something incredibly appealing about being with someone who is genuinely passionate about life. Passion creates energy. It gives a person something to talk about, something to look forward to, and something that makes them unique. A woman who is excited about her goals, interests, and dreams often brings that same positive energy into her relationships. Conversations become more engaging. Experiences become richer. The relationship feels more balanced because both people continue growing as individuals while growing together as a couple. Having your own life also helps protect the relationship from unnecessary pressure. When every emotional need is placed on one person, it can become overwhelming. No single individual can be a partner, best friend, therapist, entertainer, motivator, and source of happiness all at the same time. Healthy relationships thrive when both people maintain other meaningful aspects of their lives. Friendships, family connections, personal interests, and individual goals all contribute to emotional balance. One of the biggest misconceptions about attraction is that being constantly available creates deeper connection. In reality, attraction often grows when both people maintain their individuality. When a woman continues pursuing her passions and living a fulfilling life, she naturally remains interesting. She brings new experiences, fresh perspectives, and personal growth into the relationship. Her life continues evolving, which keeps the connection dynamic rather than stagnant. Independence also creates emotional strength. Life is unpredictable, and relationships sometimes face challenges. A woman who has developed confidence through her own experiences is often better equipped to handle difficult situations. She does not fall apart every time something goes wrong because her entire identity is not tied to the relationship. She understands her value regardless of temporary circumstances. This emotional resilience creates stability and makes the relationship healthier for both people. Another important benefit of having your own life is that it helps reduce insecurity. When someone is actively working toward personal goals and building a life they enjoy, they spend less time obsessing over every detail of the relationship. They are less likely to constantly seek validation because they already have a sense of purpose and self-worth. This creates a more relaxed and confident dynamic that allows love to grow naturally. Many women underestimate how attractive self-respect truly is. Self-respect influences the way you speak, the boundaries you set, the opportunities you pursue, and the standards you maintain. When you value yourself, others are more likely to value you as well. A woman who knows her worth does not constantly chase approval. She does not abandon her dreams to keep someone interested. She understands that a healthy relationship should support her growth, not require her to sacrifice her identity. Having a beautiful life of your own also means continuing to evolve. Growth should never stop simply because you are in a relationship. There are always new skills to learn, new experiences to explore, and new goals to pursue. Personal development keeps life exciting and meaningful. It prevents stagnation and helps maintain a strong sense of individuality. When both partners continue growing, they bring fresh energy into the relationship and inspire each other to become better versions of themselves. Perhaps the most attractive part of all is the mindset behind it. A woman who has built a fulfilling life does not approach relationships from a place of desperation. She chooses love because she wants it, not because she believes she cannot be happy without it. That difference changes everything. Her presence feels genuine rather than needy. Her affection feels authentic rather than dependent. She stays because she values the relationship, not because she fears being alone. At the heart of it all, having a beautiful life of your own is about creating a strong foundation within yourself. It is about nurturing your dreams, protecting your individuality, and finding fulfillment beyond romantic relationships. When a woman develops confidence, purpose, and self-respect, she naturally becomes more attractive because she radiates a sense of completeness. She is not looking for someone to complete her life. She is looking for someone to share it with. And that kind of confidence, independence, and personal fulfillment creates a powerful and lasting impression that goes far deeper than physical attraction ever could. One of the most powerful yet overlooked qualities in a relationship is genuine appreciation. It may seem simple on the surface, but feeling appreciated has a profound impact on the way people connect with one another. Every person wants to know that their efforts matter, that their presence is valued, and that the things they do for the people they love are noticed. Appreciation fulfills a deep emotional need that often goes unspoken. When a woman consistently expresses sincere gratitude and recognition, she creates an emotional connection that becomes stronger over time. Many relationships do not fail because love disappears. They struggle because appreciation slowly fades. In the beginning, people tend to notice everything. They appreciate the thoughtful messages, the time spent together, the small acts of kindness, and the effort each person puts into making the relationship work. But as time passes, familiarity can sometimes replace gratitude. Things that once felt special begin to feel expected. Acts of love become routine. Effort becomes invisible. This is where many couples unknowingly create distance. Human nature often causes people to focus more on what is missing than on what is present. It is easy to notice the things a partner forgot to do. It is easy to point out mistakes or shortcomings. What takes more intention is recognizing the countless things they do right. A woman who learns to focus on appreciation creates a completely different atmosphere in her relationship. Instead of making someone feel like they are constantly being evaluated, she makes them feel valued. Appreciation does not have to come through grand speeches or dramatic gestures. In fact, its greatest power often lies in the smallest moments. A simple thank you, a kind compliment, or a few words acknowledging effort can leave a lasting impact. People often remember how someone made them feel more than the exact words they used. Feeling appreciated creates warmth, confidence, and emotional security. Think about how motivating it feels when someone notices your efforts. Whether it is at work, within your family, or in your personal life, recognition encourages you to keep giving your best. Relationships work the same way. When a man feels that his efforts are seen and valued, he becomes more motivated to continue investing in the relationship. Appreciation inspires positive behavior far more effectively than constant criticism ever could. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming their partner already knows they are appreciated. While love can be understood through actions, words still matter. Hearing appreciation expressed directly can have a powerful effect. It reassures someone that their contributions are meaningful and that they are not being taken for granted. Even people who appear confident on the outside often need to feel acknowledged by the people they care about most. Genuine appreciation also strengthens emotional intimacy. When a woman notices and values the little things, she communicates that she is paying attention. She shows that she sees not only the obvious efforts, but also the sacrifices, intentions, and thoughtfulness behind them. This level of awareness makes people feel deeply connected because it demonstrates emotional presence and understanding. Another important aspect of appreciation is recognizing character, not just actions. While it is wonderful to thank someone for what they do, it is equally meaningful to appreciate who they are. Complimenting qualities such as kindness, determination, loyalty, generosity, patience, or integrity can have a lasting emotional impact. These acknowledgments touch a deeper part of a person's identity and help strengthen their sense of self-worth. Appreciation becomes even more important during difficult seasons of life. Everyone experiences moments when they feel overwhelmed, discouraged, or uncertain. During those times, a few sincere words of encouragement can make a tremendous difference. Knowing that someone believes in you and values your efforts provides emotional strength. It reminds people that they are not facing life's challenges alone. There is also a beautiful cycle created by appreciation. When people feel valued, they naturally become more giving. They become more attentive, more affectionate, and more invested in maintaining the connection. Appreciation creates positive momentum within a relationship. It encourages both people to continue showing love, support, and kindness. Over time, this cycle helps build a stronger and more resilient bond. It is important to remember that appreciation should always be genuine. People can usually tell the difference between sincere gratitude and words that are spoken out of obligation. True appreciation comes from paying attention and expressing honest recognition. It is not about manipulation or trying to get something in return. It is about acknowledging the value another person brings into your life. A woman who practices appreciation also tends to experience more happiness within her relationship. When you actively look for things to appreciate, your perspective begins to shift. Instead of focusing primarily on flaws and frustrations, you become more aware of positive qualities and meaningful moments. This does not mean ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It simply means balancing awareness of challenges with recognition of blessings. Many people spend years searching for ways to create deeper emotional connections without realizing that appreciation is one of the simplest and most effective tools available. It costs nothing, requires very little time, and yet has the power to transform the emotional atmosphere between two people. It makes others feel seen, valued, and important. These feelings create trust, warmth, and closeness that strengthen relationships over time. At its core, appreciation is an expression of love in its purest form. It is the act of recognizing another person's value and choosing to acknowledge it openly. It is noticing the effort behind the actions, the intention behind the sacrifices, and the character behind the choices. When a woman consistently expresses sincere appreciation, she creates an environment where love feels safe, meaningful, and rewarding. She reminds her partner that they matter, that their efforts are noticed, and that their presence makes a difference. In a world where many people feel overlooked, that kind of recognition becomes incredibly powerful and unforgettable.